61% of Indian students got their US visa rejected in 2025. Did you know that? Your family is about to spend around $50,000 to $68,000. That's roughly 42 lakh rupees to 57 lakh rupees every single year. Not total, per year. So before you submit that application or before your parents sign anything, I want to have an actual honest conversation about whether the US is still the move in 2027. Let's start with money. Because most people are working with numbers that are not real. When people say $45,000 tuition, that's what American kids pay. You as an international student, you're looking at $50,000 to $68,000. That is approximately 42 lakh rupees to 57 lakh rupees, and that's your full cost per year. Tuition, rent, food, health insurance, all of it. For a 2 years master's, which is what most Indian students are going for, you're looking at somewhere between $100,000 to $136,000 total. That's 84 lakh to 1.14 crore INR. And before anyone says, but loan? Yes, and then add the interest on top. Now ask yourself, what number did your consultant give you? Okay, now the visa, because this is where things get tricky. In 2025, the last year, 61% of Indian students who applied for the F1 student visa got rejected. Not 16, not 26, 61%. More than half. Some of these people had their admission letters, some had paid their deposit, still rejected. And overall, globally, the US issued 97,000 fewer F1 visas in the summer of 2025 compared to the year before. That's a 36% drop in one summer. And in September 2025 alone, only 706 Indian students got approved in the whole month. So the universities are still accepting applications. The visa window is just not keeping up. Let's say you get through all that. Visa approved, you land, you study, you graduate. The traditional path is OPT, then H1B, then eventually a green card, right? That's the dream everyone imagines. Here's what's happening with that system right now. OPT, the program that lets you work for up to 3 years in the US after graduation. It's currently being reviewed by the government. There's a real talk about restricting it or cutting it. Nothing confirmed yet, but the uncertainty alone is affecting how companies hire international students. Then there's H1B, which is a lottery. 1 in 3 odds, roughly. Your company has to sponsor you, pay fees, and then hope your name gets picked. And if it doesn't, you have 60 days to leave. And the green card. For Indians specifically, we are talking decades-long waits. That's not an exaggeration. And then there's something that most study abroad consultants just skips over completely. AI is replacing the entry-level jobs that most Indian STEM graduates go to the US for. Entry-level tech hiring at the top 15 US tech companies fell 25% in a single year, from 2023 to 2024. A Stanford study showed employment for software developers aged 22 to 25 is down nearly 20% from its 2022 peak. Indian IT companies have cut entry-level roles by 20 to 25% because of automation. This is not a future thing, it's happening right now. The job you spent 1 crore rupees going to the America to get the company might just not hire a junior for that role anymore. They will use an AI tool or one senior person with AI. And you will be competing as a fresh grad with a work authorization that has an expiry date against that. Okay, I'm not here to tell you don't go. That's not the point of this. The point is, there are people for whom the US is still the best decision they will ever make. I just want to help you figure out if you are one of them. If you are going into AI, machine learning, biotech, semiconductors, or computational biology, the US has an ecosystem that genuinely does not exist anywhere else at the same scale. The research, the funding, the companies, it's all in one place. And STEM OPT still gives you 3 years of work authorization after graduation, which is a real runway. And networking? Look, I know that sounds vague, but one internship at a Bay Area company, one professor who puts in a word, one conference where you meet the right person, those things actually change trajectories. That's not hype, that's just what happens there. Back then, there were not many alternatives. Now, there are. UK has a graduate visa. You can stay and work for 18 months after you finish. No lottery. Germany has public universities where international students pay close to zero tuition. Literally, $0 to $500 a semester, which is 0 rupees to 42,000 rupees with English taught master's programs. France has some of the best business schools in the world at a fraction of the US cost. And Ireland, an English-speaking EU member, and literally half of the US tech industry have their European headquarters there. Microsoft, Google, Meta, they are all based in Dublin. You can get into those companies from Ireland without ever touching the H1B lottery. These aren't backup options, these are just options. And in 2027, they deserve the same research time you're putting into the US. If you would ask us, should you go do a master's in the US for 2027? I would say no. And I would say the same if it was my brother or sister asking me. Or at least it's not the preferred choice for the next few years as things stand. But at the end of the day, what we think doesn't matter. If you really think you want to go, you can absolutely go. But just look at the political situations, the wars, the economy. Maybe it's not the best idea to invest this much money there right now. There are better alternatives out there than old thought of the American dream. And please, don't try to go through all these illegal routes that people take. Just don't.